So, welcome back to the show, Mastering Real Estate, Secrets from Top Agents. Today, I am thrilled to introduce you to one of San Francisco's most respected and accomplished real estate leaders, Mary Macpherson. So Mary has built an extraordinary career from her early days at Paragon Real Estate Group to becoming a top producer and mentoring at Compass, and now leading the powerhouse team of 29 agents of her own at Vantage Realty. Ranked among top 1% in San Francisco and nationwide, Mary is known for her strategic marketing, her fierce negotiation skills, and incredible client loyalty. With over $800 million in sales, could be more by now, and more than 90% of her business is by referral. So let's dive into how she built her brand and the secrets of leadership and client trust that it takes to thrive in one of the most competitive markets in the country, San Francisco. Welcome, Mary.
Thank you so much, Paula.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, I've known you for a number of years, but we haven't been very intimate, so I'm so excited to get to know more.
We're dating ourselves here.
It's okay. It's okay. So I'm curious, you've had an incredible journey, and I've watched your career grow from Paragon to Compass, and now you're a founder of Vantage Realty. Tell us a little bit about the beginning and what drew you into real estate, just so we can get a little background on that.
Sure.
I'm always curious how people get in this crazy business.
Of course, yeah. So I was a newspaper reporter, so before real estate. Yeah, that's what I did before.
Yeah.
So curiosity has always been a big thing for me. I'm curious about everybody, everything. And when, my family would sit around and watch a little TV show, I ended up looking at the real estate ads because I was always interested in property.
Oh.
And I started getting really interested in connecting my friends with the right property. Most of my friends were renters in North Beach, and the rental climate in North Beach at the time that I got into real estate was pretty tough, like it is now in San Francisco. And
Yes.
yeah, and one of my friends was looking for a property to rent, and I started just kind of putting together things for her to go see, sort of brokering without a broker's license kind of thing. And then I found myself making cold calls to owners of property, asking if they would consider something in locations that she really liked. So one of our mutual friends got kind of wind of what I was doing, and she was at Pacific EM at the time, and she said, I think you have kind of a knack for this. Why don't you go seek out Patrick Carlisle and train with him, and wherever he's at, you find him, you stick with him. He'll train you best. And Pat, best there is, best trainer there is, best mind. He's at Paragon. He was at Paragon. He was with Pacific and went to Paragon. And I found Pat, and and sort of just hitched my wagon Patrick Carlisle.
Nice.
And had tremendous training at Paragon. I didn't know what I was doing, like most real estate agents do when they start. And remembered to just start with humility and let just that knowledge wash over me, right?
Uh-huh.
And it was, this is going on about 18 years ago. And so I'm almost 59 now, so I was in my 40s. And so it's helpful, right, to start in real estate when you're not, say, 20.
Yeah.
Because you're working your open houses and you're meeting clients, potential clients, and they assume that you've been in it for a while, even if you haven't. And that sort of served me well to be a little bit older, a little bit wiser me. Anyway, Patrick had a tremendous training program, and I managed it really seriously. And I did everything he told me to do, which was get to the office every day, at 8 to 5, and put in the hours and be thoughtful about your, prospecting for clients and always ask questions, all this.
Which came naturally for you, too, because you were a journalist. I love that. I can't tell you in 20 years I never hired a journalist.
Interesting.
It's so interesting. You're the first person I've ever met to come into this business from that field. And that it does, I can see how it translates because, the inquisitiveness is one of the things that I say is you have to ask a million questions. And then you have to listen to the answers because a lot of people are so busy listening to their own voice, they forget to listen to the answers to their questions. We're journalists are born for that.
The 2 ears, 1 mouth ratio.
Exactly. Oh, I love it.
Well.
Oh, that's one of my favorites. I love it. Excellent, excellent. So then you grew. I watched your career grow, and then as things changed in our industry because there's just new players all the time, and Compass came in and did what they did, and then you did a little stint there, and you started mentoring. So tell me a little bit about that. I love that too.
Well, at Paragon, toward the end of our tenure, they would ask me to lead some prospecting meetings, some trainings for new agents, that kind of thing. And I really enjoyed it more than I thought I would, maybe. And you always learn when you teach, right? You learn more. Probably the people in the room like learning supposed to be learning from you. And then when I got to Compass, I asked if I would continue to do that, and I was so happy to do that. And the small Compass group in San Francisco turned into a bigger Northern California group, and different managers around the region would ask me to maybe adopt a few of their agents who were sort of struggling in a certain, say, income range, and ask them to kind of help, increase their mojo. So again, learning from people all around Northern California, a lot of fun, different managers getting involved and weighing in. So that was fun. Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
So did that for years, really enjoyed it.
Oh, wow.
And then
Yes, I didn't realize that. All while selling hundreds of millions of dollars of real estate every year.
Right.
A lot of
20, that was
capacity.
very interesting.
So you have a large capacity. I know you have 4 children.
Yeah.
So that'll give you capacity right there.
Right. I don't need a lot of sleep.
That's good. That's good. And you can juggle different personalities.
I love to juggle. I'm happiest when I'm on fire.
These are the secrets, to being a successful realtor. A lot of people don't realize that it takes those skill sets. Those are not so much secrets as they are skill sets.
Right.
Yeah, we need to be able to juggle a lot of balls and a lot of clients at one time in order to make a living.
Right.
Because how many people do you think you carry in your pipeline at any given time?
At least a dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a dozen hot,
Right.
warm. How many warm? Another dozen.
50.
Exactly. Yeah, and then cold. Probably a couple thousand.
We have one criteria for being one of our clients. You just have to be nice, right?
Yeah.
So I would ask any real barrier to entry unless they're not nice. Yeah. Then it stops there.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's a good. I like it. It's a very good moniker to have because who wants to work with mean people? No,
Life's too short.
Yeah, life's too short, and we learned that. I mean, I remember in the early days when you're really hungry, you had a couple of them, and then you got, I'm never going to do this again.
Right.
So you and Kathleen DeGrande founded then Vantage Realty, and that was back in 2023.
Right.
That's a couple of short years. And it's just the two of you when you came over to
Just
Vantage?
And a couple of our agents were old friends from Paragon. And then we don't really recruit, but I think the attraction is there.
Yes, attraction rather.
Now we're 29th agent just signed on each.
Yeah. Oh my God. Congratulations. That's really wonderful.
Wonderful.
And so you're training them, I take it, and you're the leader of the group? Does Kathleen do that? How does that work?
We kind of mix the responsibilities, but I do all the training. She'll do mostly the operations side. She's really good at that, and I'm better at maybe being a mom, to these ends. Although she's a mom too, she has a couple kids herself, which is how we met. So I do the training, yes, and the sales meetings, and but we both answer the phone all the time, so it's nice. The ratio is really good, right? So it's about a dozen agents to each of us.
Yeah, yeah. So how do you manage to keep the high standard that you have throughout that group?
By example.
You lead by example. That's great.
And again, the nice thing applies to agents as well. So I've had a lot of, coffees and lunches with people who do great business, and, we ultimately don't decide to partner with those people. Yeah.
Nice.
It's a tough one to say no.
It is tough to say no, and I won't go into all that, but I've had a few of those difficult agents in my career as well, and you have to, either they have to learn or then you show them the door. It's fine.
And if I have
someone,
I'm sorry.
take them.
Yeah. If I have a coffee or a lunch with someone and I don't really know much about them or how they work or just, anything, I'll come back to the agents and in the office and say, do you happen to know so-and-so? And if I get one no vote, one side eye, that's pretty much all I need.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really,
You got to be so careful by quality of quantity.
yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
So tell us, you've been consistently ranked in the top 1%, and that's really some amazing volume of business. Tell me what you think sets you apart from the other 99%, Mary.
Yeah. I'm very regimented.
Oh.
I don't mind the mundane. Real estate is exciting. It can be exciting, but it isn't always exciting, right? Most of the time it's coming in and doing the work. So I treat it like a business, like you should. It's your own company, and everything that you do. I try to tell the agents that, if you're in an open house or if you're at the office, wherever you are, you're in your car, someone's watching you, right? And they're forming an opinion of you. And hopefully that reflects the truth. And if it doesn't, you better be able to do a pretty honest evaluation and audit of yourself online, in person, in the mirror. What I'm putting out there, what's really me? So I think about that a lot. I try to be pretty intentional about that sort of thing. But again, the mundane is my thing. I'm up every day, 5:30. I'm in the gym by 6:30. I have a gym class. I take a class because I'm honest with myself. If I'm pushing myself, I might not do it. But if I go to a class, the instructor will push me for me. Generally in the office by 7:30, 8 o'clock before others get there. I can get most of my prospecting done before 10, 11.
Nice.
And then we don't really have our first sales meeting until 10. And then, it's taking care of the agents for the most part of the day, clients. And I don't take my laptop home at night. I won't give that.
You turn it off.
Turn it off. Everything. I go home to recharge.
What time do you usually roll in?
That's 6:30.
Not bad.
Not
So that's a full 10-hour, 12-hour day.
Pretty boring.
It's not boring.
Try to be
I mean,
happy.
it's, it's an interesting, you call it mundane and regimented, which it is. And I call it consistent, because I don't like those other two words. But consistency pays, is what I say.
That's it.
And, when you consistently do activities over and over, you see results. If you eat right, you're going to feel better. If you exercise, you're going to look better. If you work hard, you're going to reap the rewards. Right. But a lot of people don't get that for some reason. And I think in real estate, I don't know if you've found this, but, they think, well, I have all this free time, so I'll go to the movie in the afternoon, or maybe I'll go shopping, or have lunch, and
That flies like a ring by itself.
Right. I love one thing that you just said, which is critical, which is you do your prospecting in the morning, and you're done by 11. And tell me more about that. What kind of prospecting do you do at that time?
I love this. Is my favorite topic.
Good.
So
it should be.
Right. See, it's the most important topic to look at. So Patrick Carlisle used to always tell us, it's a numbers game, right? And so the math that we use is that it's about 50 two-way touches will generally result in some kind of a transaction. So I tell the agents, you want to do 2 deals a month? You better be talking to how many people? 50 times, right? And then just breaking that down and, into bite-sized bits, because the Atomic Habits book is a big book for a certain reason, right? Because it is bite-sized bits, because people can't, climb the mountain. They've got to just step up the ladder. Yes. So to me, I try to front load. Sunday, I do a lot of prospecting. So in case there's a lot of fires to put out during the week, I can always look back on Sunday and know that I did 50% of my prospecting for the week on Sunday. And it can be as simple as picking up my phone and saying, I'm going to talk to all the people that are C's today or D's today. You know what I mean? Everyone alphabetically. Whatever it is. And the advantage, I try to provide the agent some kind of a prompt just to get them started. Is it the rain today? Do your clients need a good roofer? You've got a great roofer. Is it, do they want to adopt a drain? Did you adopt a drain in your neighborhood? And you want to tell your clients about how you adopted a drain? And can they adopt their drain? And here's how they do it. Whatever it is, because sometimes people just need a little inspiration just to get started. Right? Yeah. They can't always take in that fire hose of information. I see people start to shut down. So I try to give them little bite-sized bits. Sometimes I get so excited and enthusiastic about prospecting, I can't help myself and send this. Here's 33 listing attraction strategies. They're like, oh, why don't I stop?
Right.
But
that's good.
The inspiration is sometimes what people need to just do those small bite-sized things to do every day.
And what inspires you to do it?
I like it. But that's that.
Yeah.
I love the connection. I was a reporter,
Yeah.
I could door knock. I was a police and courts reporter, so I did murders and rapes and all the hard stuff I'm gonna do. And I'll never forget knocking on the door. It was a fire chief in the Tri Valley area, and his daughter was murdered. And I had to knock on the door on the day of the funeral and ask if I'd come in and interview the family and try to be in a room without disrupting them. And I just fade into the wallpaper and be respectful and let them know that people really do want to hear her story, and it would be helpful to the readers of our publication. And they let me in, but that was the kind of stuff I had to do back then. And it was okay, because better me maybe than somebody that would maybe be as empathetic.
Yeah, compassion.
And that's how I felt about, early in the career knocking on doors. I didn't knock on doors. If I have an open house now, I'll knock on the doors in the neighborhood and invite all the neighbors. Of course they want to come. And if it's so nice to meet them. And
So,
You know, if not me, then maybe somebody else, but maybe I might be a little bit more tactful. I don't know. Not that I'm putting myself on some.
no, but,
But-
you know, I mean, you know that you're going to be kind and you're going to be open with information and you're just there to do a job. You know, you're not there to, you know, solicit really. It's really just doing a service for your seller, in my opinion. That's it. You know, that's so what we're there for, is to sell the house.
Right.
And maybe they know someone. So how are you going to know if you don't ask?
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm aligned with that for sure. So when you say people come, do you hire new agents or just seasoned agents?
Either. But
So
I don't really have anything against new agents. I know some people would rather not, especially it's, you know, we're all compete for a smaller pie. That's the thing.
I mean,
right?
I hired hundreds of new agents because, first of all, I can train them, and you can train them the way you want, like you were trained. We had great trainers back in, you know, when we started. And then, two, you know, well, I forgot two, but anyway, one, you can hire them the way you like. You know, you can train them, and they need training. New people, and someone has, you know, everybody has to be new sometime. So, the question I have about that is, so what traits do you look for in a new agent? Like, if someone's thinking, I want to start a real estate career today, what would you think they need to be like? What traits do they have to be in the business?
Well, sometimes I look at simply at like response times. You know, someone reaches out to me and I respond back, and if it takes them a while to get back to me, then I'm a little bit concerned. So it's a little bit of a red flag, right? Or if there's, and this comes from the newspaper thing, if it's riddled with error, you know, and their responses grammatically, so forth, it's a little hard for me to get that stuff. But in terms of traits, kind, empathetic, humble, but you know, a little ambition's not a bad thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Certainly discipline, you know, just people who are disciplined, that's exciting to see. People who are, I don't want to say malleable isn't the right word, but people who are coachable, flexible, you know, willing to, you know, take in and listen from someone who might be on this earth for a little bit longer, you know. Certainly collaborative would be probably my number one. It's not always obvious, but usually before I say the final yes, I'll have them come to one of our meetings or a couple of our meetings and see how they sort of gel with others. And you can see that, you know, the wallflowers in the corner, they may just move a little bit of something. And shyness doesn't necessarily mean not collaborative, but it might deter them from having a successful career, right? But those who will sit in the middle and ask questions, and that, you know, I see the curious eyes. I love seeing curiosity. You know, you just get a feeling. You just know.
Yeah, I've had some misses. Have you had misses?
Thinking through the roster now. So far,
Very good.
so good.
Good job.
But we're only 2 years in. So
Congratulations.
going on 3 now.
It's hard because, you know, sometimes, I mean, you're very careful. It sounds like you're very careful and very thoughtful about who you bring on board.
Right.
So that helps. And it's not like you're running a full brokerage where you really need to get the bills paid so much, right? I mean, I don't really understand the model that you're in completely, and I respect that, but I think it's more of a team building exercise than, hey, we have to pay the bills or we're going to have no office. Sometimes we take people that are kind of shit.
There's so many bills to pay because they went the brick and mortar route. So you know.
Yeah. Oh, so that's true. You have the bills to pay. Yeah. Yeah. You have the bills to pay. So it keeps us motivated, you know. But you know, when you're inspired like you are and you love it, it seems not like work.
Right.
You find that?
No.
Yeah.
It's
It's just fun.
Right.
Yeah. So someone breaking into a tough market like San Francisco, brutal. You know, what advice do you have for them?
Some of the newer agents who are trying to break in, and especially if they're younger and I feel like it might be harder for them to gain some traction, I try to find a good personality match with a veteran on the team. So we have somebody, my 28th agent who joined this week. She is now being mentored by one of our veteran agents and doing some work with him. And he gets the benefit of having somebody who's young, hungry, on top of things. And she gets the benefit of all this wisdom that he's got. And anyway, so that's next. And that was a Paragon model thing too, right?
Yeah.
Not quite the same way. Remember how that model was? You know, you paid the listing agent, you paid your mentor a cut of, you know, a couple listings, maybe a buy side. This is a little bit different. This is more of a team, you know, building model. Until the newer agents ready to like leave the nest, right?
It's nice. I mean, I used to do a lot of mentorship too, and I think it's helpful for both parties. Do you have a compensation structure for them, or is it just,
I get involved with their financial arrangement just to make sure that it seems fair to both parties.
yeah,
And so far, so good.
good, excellent, yeah. So I also read that you are involved in organized real estate. So you sit on committees at the board,
I do.
and you do a DEI
Yeah.
committee.
I'm on the SFA or DEIA committee.
Nice,
And I also mentor and so teach classes there.
nice.
And I'll be on the board of directors next year.
So how do you find time for it all? I mean, we all have the
The
same.
kids are all out of the house.
Oh, well, there it is. So you find you have more time when your children are gone now? But they also tells me your family.
I have 4 kids, 28, 26, 23, and 20.
Oh my gosh, they're really grown.
Last one's in college.
Wow, excellent. Congratulations.
You're here. It's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. And do they live here nearby?
They do. 2 of them are actually in the business.
Oh, really?
One won't be in the business forever. She's getting her master's degree. She'll be a therapist. Maybe it's because her mom was a real estate agent. I don't know. But the
Therapy certainly works well in real estate.
Right.
She might come back. You'd be
Look at mine. That's money.
Yeah. A lot of women have large extended family members, children, spouses even, that come into the business and build teams that way.
Right.
Yeah. So you have 2 of your children working with you.
Right. And one of them is actually taking his real estate exam as we speak.
Oh,
So
congratulations.
he loves the business. And
Yeah. Oh, nice. Excellent. Well, it's a great career, choice for those who love it. And, they've seen that you've done well. I mean, extremely well. And I think it's, if you love it, it's like we said over and over already, it's fun.
Right.
It's not so, I mean, it is very, very hard. I mean, let's be honest. The hours are long and it can be mundane and it can be repetitious, but it also can be very fun. We build long-standing relationships and deep relationships.
And when would we be able to meet all of these people? I mean, not with this kind of depth, So I think I'm going to turn back to my son for a minute. He's quite a people person. I mean, like he loves open houses. He loves to meet people. He doesn't mind the sort of fishbowl effect of being a real estate agent. And then of course he loves homes as well. He's been looking at homes since he was a little guy,
Dragging him around with you.
And he's such a perfect fit personality-wise for that. And I guess maybe that's the last trait to think about when talking to new agents. Do they really enjoy people? Because that's the business. Houses, that's secondary, right? Yeah, it's the people.
Yeah, you have to like people.
You do.
Yeah.
There's no faking it.
No, because we're dealing, so do you get most of your business through open houses, do you think? I mean,
Early on.
Early on you did,
Yeah.
yeah. It seems to be a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, for most agents is how they got a lot of business. And then what's the long-term vision then for you?
It's terrible that I don't really have one. I want to work as long as I can. But my dad passed away a couple of years ago and he was almost 102 and he worked like to the last drop of his life.
No way, what did he do?
He was a mailman. He was an accountant, and then he became a mailman because he's a people person and loved to walk around and meet people.
Oh my God.
Isn't that funny?
Isn't that great? That's a great story. 102.
But his brothers all the same. There was 5 brothers, and they all worked to, into their 90s. That was that kind of family, and I feel like I got that. I'll just work and put my work on. Yeah. I'm not really happy on vacation. It's not really my thing. I love Tor Hill.
So you don't take time off and travel and do things, or do you?
We get up to the river, here and there, and that I do like. But even then, I need to be busy,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
A lot of golfing, I guess. But I like the structure of work. I'm a structured person.
Yeah.
It's just how I operate.
Yeah. So the long term is just to continue,
Work as long
what you're doing and enjoying it. Yeah. Well, this has been great. You gave us a lot of good information, a lot of insight, and a lot of helpful information for new people who think of coming in the business, that may want to come in the business. Good. Thank you so much, Mary, for being here. I really appreciate it.
Sweet, Pete.
Oh, thank you. It's been great.